Okay, everybody, this is supposed to be live now. And I am looking over here at Facebook and I don't think I see it. So if I do see it, then okay, we are live. Hey, everybody, this is Angela Heath. And I know with TKC Incorporated, I know I am like totally confusing everybody because you're looking for me and you're finding me in different places. But every Thursday at 7 p.m., I've been doing this for a couple years. I do a broadcast. Now, I was doing it in the Baby Boomers Make Money Facebook group, and I still have the group, but it's not as active as it used to be because of COVID. I am doing a pivot. Anybody out there watching, have you done a pivot because of COVID? So, what happened, and I've shared this with you before, is that people know that I've been online doing master classes and webinars and summits for probably about 8 or 9 years. And they started coming to me asking me for help. So, what do I always tell you? When your talents, your passion, and the market are all interested in something, that's called convergence. And I don't pass up opportunities. So, because people were asking me to help them with their online presentations and with bringing their um, companies online, their meetings and all that good stuff, so why not? So I started the Virtual Speaking Academy and I started a new Facebook group called Public Speaking in Cyberspace. So all of this, guys, is testing. I am testing, testing, testing. I'm trying to figure out what has the most traction. Because of COVID, many of you guys probably have pivoted, and you may have to pivot some more to figure this all out, but that's what I'm doing now. So if you are watching, it looks like several people are. Give me a comment. Say hello, Angela. Say something so that I know that you're there, right? That would be very helpful. So normally I've been broadcasting from Zoom and I've been broadcasting in the baby, not the baby boomers make money, in the public speaking in cyberspace. Because one of the things that I found out, I did the summit back in October, and I found out that a lot of businesses need to understand how to do this and how to do it well, especially the businesses that are getting corporate clients. So I know that you see a lot of people just getting online and doing anything and saying anything, and that's that's fine. You know, it really works real well when you are reaching out to the public. But I know a lot of you guys are um, reaching out to corporations. And if you're reaching out to corporations, you got to be a little more professional because they're not going to stand for you not being prepared and just coming on and just chatting, right? They're just not going to stand for that. So, anyway, that's why I'm doing this because I know that business people, you need to master this cyber presentation because it's not going anywhere. I don't care if the vaccine, is out there and people are taking it. You're going to still need to know how to reach people in this online environment. So tonight, what I want to talk to you guys about is building your own stage. So, I say all the time, find places to present your expertise. That's one of the business development strategies along with public speaking. Find stages, and it's just places to present. You can look around your neighborhood, some of the what do you call it, the local community groups. They're always looking for speakers, and you think, it's just a community group, but it's not, because the people who belong to the Lions Club and the Elks Club and all of those local organizations. Many of those people are businesses. And so if you're trying to reach them, these community organizations are a good place to go. So, okay, so we're going to be talking about building your own stage, because many people told me, hey, I haven't been able to find any place to present my message. Well, if you can't find any place, then you have to make your own stage. So today I just did a webinar on, yes, James, Rotary is an excellent place where you can reach out and do presentations. And a lot of those guys are businessmen. So today I did a webinar on becoming self-employed for a client, and we had over 200 people in the webinar, hence the green screen. And I'm testing out this Restream app. That's why I don't have a virtual background. But one of the things that I realize is that I don't always have clients that I can depend on who are going to put me in front of people who might also become my clients. With this particular clients, and probably a lot of times with your clients, you may not be able to, if someone hires you to speak, you may not be able to make a pitch for your services. And with this client, I could not. So it's important to build your own stage. And let me tell you what I mean by that. You've got cyberspace. You've got this space right here. You can go live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. You've got all of these, Instagram. You've got all of these places where you can put your message out there. And the good news about these places is that they are going to live beyond your first attempt to reach people. So there may only be a handful of people who watch you initially, but the rebroadcast, people can watch you over again. And plus, you can then also repost it in different places. So I want to talk to you very quickly tonight. These broadcasts are always just about 20 to 30 minutes. Hi, Delphine, and hi, James. Thank you for joining. So I want to talk to you about 5 things you need to do if you're going to build your own stage. Number 1 is your topic. And I am the queen of research. I'm always telling people, do your research, but it's so critically important. You have got to know your audience, and you've got to know your audience very well. You're going to do your research, and your research is really about, okay, target audience, what do you want to learn about? Now, I've learned this the hard way because I love to do research, and I've done research, and for example, the virtual speaking summit. I did my research with speakers, and I knew that they wanted to learn some tips and tools and resources to do better virtual speaking. I knew they wanted to do that. I saw that many of the speakers were going after different kinds of certifications. I talked to some speakers about this whole certification thing. And so my offer was the virtual speaking certification. Now, the thing that happened with the virtual speaker summit, which was my initial way to grab attention, it was my stage, if you will, more business people attended that than actual speakers, because a lot of business people figured out they've got to learn how to master this also. And so I was making the wrong offer. The business people, they don't necessarily want a certification. Not necessarily, some people do. But what they want to do is to get more comfortable with this online presentation and this media so that they can sell more and connect better and manage remote teams. So I was making the wrong offer. And that's why you've got to do research. And when you do your research, you can't be afraid to pivot. You can't be afraid to say, oh, I need to talk to more people. So the topic that you're going to use to build your stage around actually has to come from your target audience. And you know this, a lot of it comes from pain points. What keeps them up at night? What are they concerned about right now? What has changed in their industry, in their profession that they want to know about? So when you're building your own stage, you know your target audience, you do the research, ask, find out what topic is really going to draw them in. Now, another one way you can do it is by asking, and another way you can do it is by doing your research online. Look at the LinkedIn groups, check out Facebook groups, depending on where your target audience is. But look at groups and see what topics are trending. If you, for example, are in the virtual speaking business like I am, and one of the issues that is really trending right now is how do we use virtual backgrounds in a way that we look still very professional? And so we know that that is an issue that speakers are talking about. So why not, after you verify it, why not offer a program where you answer the questions that people are asking? So you can go to these groups and listen and find out what are they talking about. Look at a LinkedIn post, and if you see that there are hundreds and hundreds of comments, that's a hot topic. So why not build your stage by offering some insight on that topic? And if it's not exactly your area of expertise, but it appeals to your audience, you can always do a talk show where you bring in the experts and you interview them. But that's the first step to building your own stage, is really checking out your audience so you can come up with a topic that's going to attract them. Now, the second area where I would recommend is the timing. The timing means a lot of things. It means the actual time, the actual hour, the actual day that you offer. And again, here you can do some research. We know that when you're doing master classes and summits and things like that, they're very different. Summits do really good on a weekend. They do really good because people aren't working as much on the weekend. So if they start during the week, if you do like a 3 or 4 day summit and you start it on a Thursday and you end it on a Saturday, or some people even do it on Sundays, they end on a Sunday. They find that they get more people attending because you get the people during the week, and also you get the people on the weekend. So Delphine, you said that I will keep that in mind when doing my summit. Yeah, you got to keep that in mind. Now with summits, because I've done quite a few summits, there's so many ways that you can do summits. You can do them several days. You can do a 1 day summit, which is what I did in October, just 1 day, the entire day. I have actually been a part of a 30-day summit. Oh my gosh. Someone over in Europe did a 30-day summit and invited me to speak. And every day there were 3 to 5 sessions. The sessions were short, they were about 30 minutes each. And guess what? I found out that the number of people that she reached with the 30-day summit were about the same number of people that I reached with a 1 day summit. So why would I want to do all of that extra work if I can reach the same number of people with a 1 day summit? Now, it really does depend on your topic and if you can cover it. Another issue about timing is to make sure you're not conflicting with a lot of other noise online. And that's really hard to do right now. Let me give you an example. I've been doing GigCon for a couple years, which is part of the Global Entrepreneurship Week. And I've done it as a summit, a 3 day summit. Last year when I did it, there were only 25 or 35 or so online events, although there are 10,000 events in the United States during that week. Well, this year, there what, 9,900 and some odd? So why would I spend all of that time building a stage for a 3-day summit? Delphine, I agree with you. 30 days is a little long, but it worked for her. She got some great contacts out of it, but I can do the same thing in one day. So, you think about your timing and you think about a lot of issues. You think about what else is happening along that same time. I had my last summit at a time when I first scheduled it, there wasn't a lot happening. But when I had to reschedule it because I had problems with the technology, I was actually competing against two other summits that were attracting some of the same people at the same time. So timing is really important. So when you are identifying potential speakers, you can find out, if there's something else going on at that time. Timing. The third point I want to make is takeaways. What are the takeaways you have available for your audience? Now, this you've got to be very strategic about because you want to help them solve a problem, but you don't want to solve all of their problems, right? So if you're building stages for yourself, you may start off with something very narrow, help them understand that. And your next offering will be another piece of the pie, but a very narrow slice of the pie, so to speak, so that you can capture their attention. And you can't afford to give them everything at once because then what do they need you for if you give them everything at once? So think about your takeaways and make sure your takeaways are strong. Make sure they are going to solve a part of their urgent problem. But as you solve them, let them know that there are more answers to be had and that you've got more answers for them, right? So your takeaways, make them concrete, make them digestible, make them something that people would really be interested in. And then fourth, I call that the tease. It's part of like the takeaways, where you're solving a problem, you solve one problem as a tease, and then you raise two issues, right? So you can learn, I can teach you about microphones, for example, and solve your problems to make sure you sound good online for really an inexpensive price. But then I would raise the issue, what about your camera? What about your lighting? So that you would then have a little tease. Another way you can tease is you can say, I have a ebook or something that talks all about these new platforms that are developing that you might want to take advantage of. And I, as a tease, I'm going to give you for free the first 25. And say if I've got 100 in my ebook, that's a tease. It's going to whet your appetite. So then you stay connected to me to get the rest of that information. And so, Dauphine, you said, how do I find out what other summits are going on? I know some, but it has nothing to do with my audience. If it has nothing to do with your audience, then you're safe. You're not going to be competing. But you can just Google summits and Google your topic. Use different keywords as you Google, and the summits will pop up for you. You can also go to a place called Speakertunity. They have a resource that lists different summits, and it's really for speakers trying to find opportunities to speak. But you can use it to find the summits that might be competing at the same time you are offering your summit. And then finally, guys, I want to just end this by saying market, 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 marketing, 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 marketing is key. When I did a summit last year in February, it is National Entrepreneurship Week, and I did a summit and we reached a little shy of 1,000 people. I wanted many more. But 1,000, I'm learning, is not that bad. But it was during National Entrepreneurship Week, and I was solving a real problem for solopreneurs who need to build their businesses and may not have the time, and they may not have the bank account to do really expensive things, but there's simple things that you can do. And we found that a lot of people were very interested in what we had to offer. But the marketing of that, I made sure that all of the other speakers who were engaged with me were actually reaching out to their audiences and helping us to market it. Now it's kind of hard because if you're doing a summit, a lot of people are doing summits. And just during COVID, I probably have appeared on, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 or 7 summits since COVID started because everybody is doing summits. So it's going to be a little harder to get yourself seen in this really noisy online environment. So you got to be creative about how you market your stages, your online events. So, guys, I'm going to end here because I usually try to stay about 30 minutes, but I will be back again next week, Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Angela Heath with TKC Incorporated, and I am also the Dean of the Virtual Speaking Academy. If you want to get in contact with me through LinkedIn, I am the real Angela Heath. And you can also find me in Facebook at the Public Speaking and Cyberspace group or the Baby Boomers Make Money group. I look forward to talking to you next week. And thanks for coming. Bye.